1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, everyone out there in mandolin land, Mike Hedding here. I had a request from someone out there if I could do a bluegrass lesson for Wabash Cannonball in the key of G. So I worked up two solos for this one. The first one's just going to stay very close to the absolute basic melody. Let's get the basic melody under our fingers. And then for the second solo, we're going to look at spicing up that melody. So how do we add some more picking? How do we add some slides? How do we add some double stops? Kind of some classic bluegrass ornaments. I'll break down each solo note for note and then show you a bunch of backup I would do for this song. So the chords are pretty easy for this song, but we'll go over kind of some basic two-finger strumming chords, some bluegrass chop chords. I'll break that down as well. And if you're watching the preview of this lesson, you can head over to my website, MikeHeddingMusic.com, and grab the full lesson. You'll get access to watch all the videos, and you can download the tabs and the practice tracks. All right, here's Wabash Cannonball in the key of G. All right, let's start breaking down this basic melody to Wabash Cannonball in the key of G. So let me play the first 9 measures. That'll be like kind of halfway through the basic melody, and then we'll start breaking it down. Here we go. All right, let's do that a few times. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, one time really slow. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so for this basic melody, we're going to use a combination of up and down picking. So really important, I recommend following the pick direction below the tab. So the staple looking symbols are the down strokes. The V looking symbols are the up strokes. That's really going to help you play the timing of this song. All right, let's get into measure 1. Here's the pickup. Okay, so for measure 1, we're going to start on beat 4, and we're going to play a down up. So you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Okay, so not too hard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and is what we're doing there. And again, we're doing a down up because we're playing eighth notes. And then for measure 2, we're going to play the D string twice more. And then the 5th fret on the D string with our 3rd finger. And then the open A string with an upstroke on the and of beat 4. So we have. That's why it's really important to play the pick direction, because we're going down, down, up. So beat 3 is a dotted quarter note. So a dotted quarter note has 1.5 times the amount of a normal quarter note. So it'd be a quarter note plus an eighth note. So that's why we're doing the down, up. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, and. I'll count it with all the beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Let's put 1 and 2 together. So we have. And then for measure 3, put your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. And then reach your 3rd finger up to the 5th fret of the A string. Your 3rd finger to the 5th fret. So you have 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be a half note. So let that ring out for 2 beats. The other thing I want you to practice there is not lifting your 1st finger up. Don't do that. Keep your 1st finger planted. That's going to be your anchor. And we're going to go right back to that note. So we have. And then on beat 4, we're going to play a down up on the 2nd fret. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and. This is good counting practice here. One thing you could do is if you're having trouble playing that half note is play the 5th fret twice as 2 quarter notes to get the timing down. So you would have, and then once you get it down, you can take it out. So you can kind of see I'm like ghost striking the strings. I'm just missing the strings. That kind of helps you keep the timing. And then for measure 4, we're going to play that note 2 more times. Open A, 5th fret on the D string. So all quarter notes there, all downstrokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to quick move your 3rd finger to the 5th fret of the G string. So it's a quick jump there. So I wouldn't try and like bend your finger to get both those down. You could if you had a really big finger, but what I would do is just quick move your finger. That's all I would do there. Let's practice that part. So let's play that top line that's into measure 5. So we have 1, 2, 3. And then on beat 4 of measure 5, play that 5th fret 2 more times. So down, up, and then measure 6, open, open on the D string, open D string twice. 4th fret on the D string, open A, and then 2 open on the A string. And that's the second one's a half note. So same timing as measure 3. And then down to the 4th fret of the D string. And then 4th fret, 4 open, 2nd fret, open, open. And then 1 more open D string. So not too hard. Let's play it from measure 6. We have what I want you to practice for this lesson too is kind of your first finger is kind of hovering over the 2nd frets, your middle finger is kind of hovering over the 4th fret, and your 3rd finger is kind of hovering over these 5th frets. It's good practice so you don't, kind of a common beginner mistake is like every time you play a note to take your finger off and like move your hand way back here, and then you end up having to travel a lot more. Measure 8's a good example of that, where see how kind of all my fingers are basically ready to play rather than all of them being back here, and it just, you're kind of reducing your amount that you need to travel to get to your notes. Let's do 6 again. Here we go. And then measure 9 is a dotted half note. So a dotted half note is 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to play on beat 4 again. That's basically going to be like measure 1, except we're not going to do the 8th notes. We're just going to play a single quarter note. Okay, so that's the first 9 measures. Let's play that whole part. Here we go. One more time, a little faster. For measure 10 and 11 is the same as 2 and 3. So we go back up and play that exact same opening melody line. And then right here, measure 12, we just did a little variation on measure 4. You could play the same thing if you wanted to, but I just did a little variation. So we're going to do a dotted quarter note on the 2nd fret in measure 12, and then an upstroke on the 5th fret of the D string, and then open A, 5th fret again. So you have so how do we count that? It's 1, 2, and 3, 4. So it's 1 and 3, 4. Notice the picking I'm doing there. I'm doing down, up, down, down. So we have, and then down to the 5th fret again. So you do that jump. And then play that note again on beat 4. And then open D string, actually 3 times, 8th notes, and then a quarter note. 4th fret, open A, 2 open. That's basically like all the same as measures 6 and 7, just a slight variation. So let's take it from measure 10. Here we go. 2 more open A strings on 4 and then 4th fret, a little ending lick, 4 on the D string, open, 2, 4, 5. Again, a perfect example of keeping your fingers down and keeping them hovering over the frets they're about to play. Rather than, you know, if you're lifting them all up and moving them out of position, that lick is going to be a lot harder. So you have, and that'd be into measure 17. That gets us all the way through the basic melody. Let's play that whole basic melody. Here we go. One time really slow, and then we'll move on to the bluegrass style solo. Here we go. Alright, that gets us into measure 17. Now we'll move on to the bluegrass style solo. Let's break that down right now.